Hello, sports movie fans. This is Locker Room Flicks Podcast. I'm Frank Sullivan, and with me is my co-host, Frank Darling. Frank, how are you today?
Good. Doing good. Just came back from vacation, a little mini vacation.
Nice.
Clearwater.
How far away is that from your place?
It's about 2 hours.
2 hours? Oh, so that's not bad.
Yeah, right. If you went right to the beach, it'd be 2 hours. Yeah. Clearwater, all the way out
nice.
The Pacific. I had never been in the Pacific before, so that was cool. Yeah.
Oh, no, I've never. I hear it's different.
Yeah, the sand is like it's like powder. It's
really.
Yeah,
that's weird.
It's awesome.
How's he? Like, I mean, you didn't go in the water. I would imagine.
We just walked through it. We just walked in the water. You're right. That's a good point. You know what? The water was kind of chilly, a little bit.
I mean,
once you're in it, it's fine. But
Really?
Yeah.
As hot as it is down there.
Yeah. We ate down there and everything. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got some. It's actually really nice out today.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
It's supposed to get a little colder, but.
Yeah, it's like in the 70s, right? 70s?
Yeah, 70s. At that weird point where like you still kind of like need like a jacket at night.
Yeah, right.
Or in the morning.
Yeah.
And it gets warm.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Things are getting good though. But yeah, everything else good?
Everything else is good. Yeah, it's nice to be back though. It's like anything else.
Oh, I know. I know.
Nice to be back.
It feels weird because like we normally record on a Thursday night and it's like Friday in the middle of the day. But
that's right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, all right. We'll get into the movie here.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The movie was Cinderella Man, starring Russell Crowe as James J. Braddock, Renée Zellweger as May, his wife, and Paul Giamatti.
Yep.
As Joe Gould, his manager. It was a box office opening weekend was $18.3 million and $108.5 million US. It was released on June 3rd, 2005. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes long, and it was nominated for 45 awards, and it won 16 of them. Which I thought was pretty impressive.
I noticed it. It didn't win any Oscars though, from what I looked. Or did Paul Giamatti?
Yes, he won.
Nominated.
No, he won for Best Supporting Actor.
Did he? Huh.
Yes, and you're right. Russell Crowe was nominated for Best Actor, didn't win though.
Gotcha.
So, well, here we go. It was the simple synopsis for everybody that's listening. It was based on a true story. During the Depression, common man hero boxer James J. Braddock, a.k.a. Cinderella Man, was to become one of the most surprising sports legends in history. Now, there's a lot of synopsises they have different ones, but that pretty much sums it up to, you could say a lot of different things in it. But now, where'd you watch the movie?
I believe we watched it on Amazon Prime.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Yep. So Prime gets 2 more this time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got a lot to talk about, so I think we can go right into... I'm sorry, my mistake.
We'll get into
And it was directed by Ron Howard, of course.
Yes.
Okay, so and now the best part of the podcast, of course, is Frank's 5 fun facts.
Okay.
Take it away.
Fact number 1. So, Russell Crowe spent almost a year training for the boxing sequences. He set up a ring and training facility on his farm in Australia. He also said that this movie was 4 to 5 times more difficult than Gladiator.
Wow, that's wild.
He suffered several concussions and cracked teeth.
Really?
He also dislocated his shoulder, which delayed filming for 2 months, and he lost over 50 pounds for a role.
Oh, to play the role. Lost 50 pounds. Right. Wow, that's crazy.
That's pretty. He endured quite a lot.
Yeah, that's dedication, definitely, for a movie.
Yeah.
I like Russell Crowe anyways. He's an excellent actor.
He's very Gladiator is a really great movie too.
Very well done. Very well done.
Mm-hmm. All right, fact number 2. The director of photography, Salvatore Tortino invented a tire cam, which is a camera cushioned inside a tire behind plexiglass. This allows professional boxers to hit the tire to create realistic reactions from the first-person point of view.
Really? Wow, that sounds cool.
So it's almost like a tire kind of swing, just kind of hanging there.
And people are
and then they're punching it. Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know, man. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It's amazing what they can do in these.
Oh, I know.
It really is.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So now go through a little bit of the cast.
Sure.
So sometimes we like to look at this person was considered for the role. This person.
No, that's good. I like that. That's
good. So I have the three main stars. So for Jimmy, they had Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Clive Owen, Billy Bob Thornton, and Mark Wahlberg considered for the lead role.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
we know Wahlberg did that.
Did the fighter?
He did that other fighter. He did, yeah.
Ben Affleck, I could definitely see Ben Affleck or Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, I could see Matt Damon a little more. I think my opinion, but yeah, yeah.
So and then we also have for his wife May.
Right.
Tons of actresses auditioned.
Really? Wow.
Which I'm also not a big fan. What's her face? Zellweger, right?
Yeah.
I can kind of take her or leave her.
Yeah, me too. I feel the same way.
But I mean, just a few names: Rachel McAdams, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Wow, Lindsay Lohan.
Zooey Deschanel, Holly Hunter, and Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
Idina Menzel. I'm trying to see what else here.
I could see Rachel Weisz in that. I could see it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
especially
they had tons of people.
Yeah, that time period, she would have been good.
And then one more for Joe Gold, they had Mickey Rooney, Danny Glover, Jeremy Irons, Kurt Russell, Ed Harris, Jason Statham, and Tim Allen.
Yeah. Well, Mickey Rooney at that time was still alive. So.
Mickey Rooney would have been good.
Yeah,
Jeremy Irons actually would have been really good.
Another good actor. Yeah,
yeah,
another good actor. All good actors you're naming here. These aren't slugs. These are really good actors. So.
Yeah, it's funny because to go off on a brief little tangent, it says that they didn't make a lot of money off this movie because I guess their budget was.
Yeah,
the budget was a lot. It was $88 million.
Yeah, I think it was $88 million. I know.
So I can imagine. I mean, the cast they've paid a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Renee Zellweger.
Just those three right off the bat. I bet you. Yeah, you're right. And not to bring up something else, but you were right. This was filmed. Getting back to our last movie, was filmed the same year that The Greatest Game Ever Played was filmed. You were right.
Yeah.
2005. Yeah. So this probably took something away from that, I'd say. Yeah.
So fact number 4, in actual Max Baer versus Jimmy Braddock, the fight. Braddock was introduced second. The champion is traditionally introduced second, but Braddock was the hometown underdog, and was a sentimental favorite. So Baer was introduced first. So I thought it was an interesting little tidbit.
That was a little slap in the face to Baer, so which was kind of good, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And so for my last fact, a little bit about the sound designer used watermelons, beef, and broken glass to create punch sounds.
Really? Wow, that's pretty cool.
And then I had these other little little tidbits.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
The real James Braddock weighed 17 pounds at birth.
Wow, that's a big kid.
Unbelievable, right?
Let's hope yours isn't that.
I know. Mine's at 6 right now. I hope it stays that way. And he was one of 5 boys and 2 girls. One of 5 boys and 2 girls born.
Yeah, they had big families back then.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
I found that interesting because he was 17 pounds.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah.
That's it. Those are my 5 fun facts here.
That's excellent. That were really good. that was really good. There's a lot of good stuff there. A lot
Yeah.
of good stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny you said that about a few things like you have here about the real life story. What really
Yep.
happened. Well, there's a few things I found out on it that I didn't know. In the opening fight in the late 20s, he goes home to his wife and his kids. Well, unfortunately, he wasn't married until 1930, so he didn't have any kids then. So
Yeah.
there's a little. Some of these things, are just stupid things that they throw in. But
Oh yeah,
that's,
it's when it comes to the true story, it's definitely a lot. Just made up characters.
Yeah. I love Joe Gould as the trainer manager, played by Paul Giamatti. I thought
Paul
he played
Giamatti.
Excellent part. Excellent part. I'm sorry.
Um,
He made, as far as I'm concerned, he made the movie. He was excellent.
he was very good. Did
Really
you know?
good.
Did you
Really
know that Paul Giamatti went to Choate High School?
Did he
up
really?
Where I am?
He
Yeah,
went to Cho?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
for those-
crazy.
For those who don't know what Choate is a private high school that's about, to be honest, about a mile away from me.
Yeah,
And
right.
a lot
That is
of
private,
the,
right?
It is private. It costs. It's funny because a coworker of mine, his stepdaughter or some person, she actually got like a full ride. Not a full ride, but like at least for 1 year
Oh, wow.
semester, she's going to play, I think, lacrosse.
Yeah.
Tuition's like $60,000 for a year.
Oh, 60 grand. It's a high school.
It's high school. I know. I mean, I think if I looked at, I think that like the Clintons went there.
Yeah.
Chelsea. I think.
Chelsea Clinton?
I think Chelsea Clinton went there.
I think
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah,
It's
I
a
think you're right
private.
about that.
It's a private school. It's kind of funny too because they're like my barber's son actually played football for them,
Oh, wow.
and
Wow.
because they're a big like most of the kids that graduate
Yeah.
go to like Ivy League schools,
Right, right.
and their stadium's small.
Oh, Choate?
Yeah, because a lot of the kids are outer towners,
Right.
so they don't have a big
right.
like you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I thought
They don't have a big stadium.
I thought they had a pretty good hockey team too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think
wouldn't
they do.
surprise
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they
But-
bring people in. They bring people in that can
Oh,
play.
yeah.
So it's
Little,
like anything else. Yeah.
little.
Well-
Next time you come up here, I tell you, you can drive past it. You take a. We used to walk through the campus. Let's say on like a nice day like this.
Yeah.
It's like college. It's crazy.
Wow, that's nuts.
But little tangent there. But yeah,
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti was excellent. Like I said, Renee Zellweger, you could take her or leave her.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, Russell Crowe knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you realize it was filmed in Toronto.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used the Maple Leaf Garden. That's the place that I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team plays there anymore for the Madison Square Garden shots. Yeah, so that wasn't Madison, and it was all done in Canada. They redid the whole whatever to make it look like it was. You know why? It's probably cheaper filming there. That's why.
Oh yes, it seems like a lot of places film in Canada.
Yep, that's for sure.
Did you know that his father was in this movie and his brother?
Oh.
You know who Ron Howard's?
Oh yeah. His father was one of the announcers in the beginning.
Yeah. I know his father was in this, and then his brother plays a referee, Clint Howard. You've seen him. You know, he was in The Waterboy.
He's been in everything. Yeah.
So I had to look that up too. So he's a younger brother, and he's appeared in 16 of his films.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
and
is crazy.
He's been in over 100. I mean, for whatever parts he might have played. Yeah. But I didn't know his father. When I found that out too myself. I said to Linda, we're watching. I said, "Well, that looks like his dad." And I looked it up. I said, "That's his father. Looks just like him." I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, and just like off of Ron Howard's movies alone. I mean, I wrote down a few, like a lot of them, but I wrote down like he's been in Backdraft, Apollo 13,
Yep,
Nixon versus Frost. He's in The Grinch, so he's been with a lot of.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ron Howard, of course, has directed so many different movies. I mean,
Yeah.
Cocoon, I think, was one of his first that he did.
Cocoon, I wrote them all down.
You wrote them down.
Splash.
Give them to me. Splash, right? Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, which I've seen. This goes going from the earliest, so 77.
Right.
Night. I don't know if you've seen Night Shift.
Yes, excellent movie.
Splash, Cocoon, Gung Ho, Parenthood, Backdraft, Far and Away, The Paper. Yeah, Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Ed TV, Grinch, The Missing, Cinderella Man, Frost vs. Nixon, and The Dilemma.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff.
He's got quite a resume.
He really does. Very good resume. Very good resume.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else in the cast you want to talk about. Max Baer, which I don't know I've seen him in anything else.
I know the face, and I've seen him in other movies.
I'm looking at it. He's not really...
Nothing
really too popular, I should say.
No, not really. He's been around in different things. He's never the leading man. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, the funny thing about this whole thing this movie was that Max Baer. Remember they talk about the guys he killed in the movie.
They said he killed 2, right?
Well, yeah. Max Baer was just take it from me because I read the boxing books real quick. He was he was a show off. He did movies. He did all kinds of stuff. To make a long story short, the one guy, I think it was Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Campbell or the other guy. What people don't know is that, as you know, Max Baer Jr. is Jeffro. You knew that, right? Jeffro from the Hillbillies. That's his son.
Yep.
Yeah. And he said his father went there every day to the hospital to watch, to take, he took care of his bills and everything. So he was, kind of a jerk, but that's a little bit of side that you didn't know about him. So,
yeah.
So I know how he was because I read about it, but you got to remember, it's not always what people tell you. That's from his son. I'm sure it was true. So that's all. That little tidbit I figured I'd tell you. But
no, that I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about these are accidents.
Yes.
So it's not like
trying to
they
kill
said. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Although they might portray it in the movie that I'm going to get you, but the other guy too. As far as with the cast,
go ahead.
You've seen him in it. Bruce McGill.
Yes.
He played. He was in D-Day at Animal House. He's been in 1,000 things too. He was good too.
He was awesome. I love Bruce McGill. He's a good, he's a good B actor, whatever. But
you're right. B actor. He's been in 1,000 different things.
Oh my God, he's my cousin Vinny. He's been in everything. I love him. He's an excellent actor. He's in everything. I bet you he's been in over 100 different movies. I bet you different for a second, third, fourth part. I don't know about anybody else in it. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's not really.
No, I don't know. The guy he met at the thing, he's not really anybody. The guy he met at the when he was working there at the docks, it really wasn't.
So it's funny. I've been trying to honestly get special guests, but I've been trying to now we're in this age where I can pretty much message, DM any actor or actress if I want to on whether it's Twitter or Instagram. Right. So I was trying to, and I try to go for obviously it'd be cool to have Russell Crowe come on here and talk about it. That's not gonna happen.
No, it's not.
So I'll try to message these little you know what I mean?
I understand.
So I actually I messaged his one of the kids that's in there.
Okay.
On Instagram. I didn't hear back from him, but it's
cool.
It's funny. I actually I know I told Steve, but when we had the Sandlot, I've been talking to you remember the kid that repeats his brother? His name is Tommy Repeat.
Yes, Tommy Repeat. Yes.
He's the younger kid.
Yeah, the younger kid. Right.
So me and him will talk on Instagram every now and then. I'll comment on some of his stuff. Yeah. And he actually messages back, and it's cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
So one of the things I wrote down, so for his prize money in the first fight when they first showed him, he won about $8,800.
Yeah.
Which nowadays would be, you want to guess?
You're gonna try. How much money did you say?
He won $8,800. Yeah.
Oh, $8,800.
Yes.
That
was
8,000.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he won
$800.
$8,800. Yeah.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Let's do this again. I'll say about 200,000.
No, 150.
Okay, not bad.
Do you know what the biggest payout for a fight was?
No, I do not.
Let me see here. I wrote it down. The biggest payout was to Floyd Mayweather in 2017. The same year that he actually fought Conor McGregor, mind you.
Oh,
He
right.
made-
That's right.
He made. You want to try to guess how much
Payday?
the fight was?
I'll say about 50 mil. How much?
Way off. 275 million
Wow. Mayweather got that
for one
fight.
for one fight. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
And according to Forbes, that put him, or I think his total earnings is
Right.
like $1 billion. This is wild. I had to write that down because I thought that was crazy.
That's awesome. I like the way you dug some of those up. Those are good for today. That was great. There's a time in the movie. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
Remember when he's going to fight him? He's going to fight Max Baer.
Yep.
And they said he's killing people, and he watches them. He watches the film, and he says, "I'm going to tell you how this happened." He turns it back. He put that back. He says. He watches it again. He watches him come in and hit the guy when he's not. Basically hits him illegal. That's actually a legal punch.
He's on kind of like the back of his head.
Yeah,
kind of,
and
right?
he goes down, right? And if you watch, I wrote this down. I don't have to write it down because I remember. If you remember in the final fight with Max Baer, he's on the ropes. People can't see this because I'm doing it. He's on the ropes. He's dodging him to do it, and he comes down and does it. And you know what he does? He blocks it and he nails him. And that's how the fight basically. That's why he was watching that to see what he does. So he lured him in to go hit him. He wasn't nothing wrong with him. He was just laying there. He comes in, blocks it, and nails him. And that really decided the end of the fight, really.
Yeah.
But that was a little tidbit I picked up there.
Really?
Because Linda said, "Why are they playing that back?" I said, "Len, he's watching him. He's watching to see what he does." Because most boxers do the same thing all the time.
Oh yeah, they study the film.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else we got here?
Well,
now?
and you know, this is
Let me see here.
definitely a movie that, I mean, yeah, it's a sports movie or like a fighting movie, but
Right.
let's talk about the whole,
Yeah.
let's forget about even the sports.
Okay.
The storyline of the fighting boxer who's in and out of work, trying to find work
During the Depression.
during a depression, which is, you know, it was cool that you had another kind of period piece.
Yep.
I had no idea. I had to look that up. What do you call them? The guys were living in Hooverville.
Yes.
I had no clue. I love history. No idea about Hoover. Never heard of them. I wanted to call them Pottersville.
Now you got to remember, the middle class, the Depression destroyed them. The higher class, as you saw, still made it.
Yeah.
So if you were middle class, like me and
you were screwed.
we were screwed. Yeah. If you were upper class, you hung on. You hung on.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in that movie. All those
It's
guys
funny.
that were in that room were.
Yeah, we're all higher. Yeah, because you see Paul
Yes.
Giamatti. He's got all his furniture stolen. Which right now, I mean, you even if that would happen, we couldn't. I mean, I couldn't sell the. I mean, I could, but I ain't gonna get shit for furniture.
Exactly. But middle class was done.
I looked up a few popular. I ended up googling a popular Hoovervilles.
Right.
They had let's see, 2 in New York City. One was the Central Park. One in St. Louis. One in Seattle. Seattle had 8 Hoovervilles.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
In 1930. And one, let's see here. One was in the District of Columbia. But yeah, no, I had no idea. It was crazy.
But that's what you used to do. You used to have to go and try to get some work, and they'd pick guys out. That's a true story. I've seen that in 4 or 5 movies already.
Really?
You. Yeah.
No, is it?
Imagine that. No food, no. How about we'll talk about the movie. How about when he goes inside the room there, and he tells him, "I got nothing." And you think they're not going to give him anything. And
the beggar.
Yeah.
I thought that was such an underrated scene.
I know.
because he's just kind of he's almost like with a beggar's cup.
Yeah, but he made all those guys money. You got to understand that. That's when he was fighting good.
Very true.
So I mean, that was a good scene. I thought it was a really good scene.
Well, and then you're right. And then I was kind of confused because he goes to it looked like a relief welfare run.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't even realize they had that back then, but I guess
I didn't realize it either. And then even too, like he goes to pay it back, which I don't even think he even had to pay it back.
No, he didn't. And it's got to be true. It got to be true. I don't know why they would throw it in there if it was false. So, but I know what you're saying. You don't have to pay that back now. But I don't know. I don't know. He's a good guy. He was a good-hearted guy. It looks like to me. He looked like he really. I'm seriously. He really looks like a really good, tough guy. He took care of his family. Tried his best. He lost his kids for a little bit there. I know that broke his heart.
Which it's kind of funny because like it makes me think about like okay, so you can't afford to have your kids there. But what makes you think your sister and her husband gonna be able to feed the kids?
Unless
they're a little well off, I guess.
Well off. Now, we want to talk about the subject real quick. My mother and her two brothers. Her mother didn't have enough. Her mother passed away early, and it was her dad, and he couldn't really take care of them. So he sent my mother and her two brothers to orphanages. Unfortunately, my mother and the two boys were separate. My mother didn't see her brothers for 5 years.
Wow.
And then he got married, and my step grandmother said, I want those kids out of that orphanage. So let's make a long story. So that's really what happened back then. That's real. That's all real stuff you're seeing. That's why it's so good in the movie that they show instead of just a boxing movie.
Yeah,
they show you how the hard times, almost like the Shia LaBeouf movie we seen.
Yeah.
So
like because they live in like it looks like there was like what like one. It's like one big room.
Yeah,
couldn't have been like more than one room.
Yeah, I know. And you see the house he had in the beginning of the movie?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a rich house, but it was a very nice house. Yeah,
and it sucked too because even with the broken hand, he couldn't find work because
Yeah, that's
his hand was broken.
Too. We should mention he broke his hand against Tommy Loughman. He broke his right hand, and that's his money right there. His fists.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they, back then it was just like that's what most of the men did were worked in a warehouse.
Yes, they did.
They didn't. I mean, they don't have offices now. And the offices were all women. They were typing and.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the fight when he fights him in the end, he's fighting for his kids and stuff. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's different.
That was one of my favorite scenes when they do flashbacks. That's what he's fighting for his kids and his family.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. That's why he never gave up.
Yeah.
Here's a good little trivia for you. He was never knocked out. I don't know if he was ever knocked down, actually. No, he was knocked down. He was never knocked out until 2 years later. You'll know who this is. He only fought 2 more fights. I don't know if you realize that, but it was Joe Louis. A young Joe Louis coming up, KO'd him in the 8th round. He had never been knocked out before.
Really?
And then he won his final fight against Tommy Farr, and that was then he went to the army. I don't know if you realized it, but he enlisted in the army. He was a first lieutenant and stuff like that. But yeah. So, he fought 2 fights after that, and that was it. But, Joe Louis is the Brown Bomber, a famous boxer. So, I mean, but that's pretty impressive, though. So,
I was never really a big boxing fan. I always kind of enjoyed watching UFC more, and even that I really don't really watch that much.
No, I understand. And that's way back, you got to remember. I mean, I'm just going to give you these real quick, only because of how they're based. There was Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum. That was listen to this, it's funny. He's Jewish. Primo Canera, Italian.
Yeah.
2-ton Tony Galento, Italian. Max Schmeling, a German. And Joe Louis and Lou Nova, Americans. So it was a mixture. These are all the people that came over on the boat and stuff.
Yeah.
And they fought. So it was a big thing in those days.
He had the star of David on his on his shorts.
Everybody wanted a piece of the pie back then. So I mean,
Yeah, it was different times. Yeah.
There was money to be made. So yeah. But I like what you said about the dislocated thing and stuff. He got all that time that he spent. I guess Wayne Gordon, a Canadian boxer, I found this out, taught Crow to box. I guess he went there. So he learned how to hit. Like you said,
you have to.
They tried to pull a lot of the punches I heard when he was fighting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah. No, I know.
I thought that was pretty cool.
No, his training it was brutal. He was in great shape.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought.
I found it good.
Good. Did you think it was a little too long, or not
No,
really?
no. Honestly, I mean, yeah, it was long. It was a longer movie, but I mean, it kept me interested, and it was interesting. And I've seen it before.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think it has to be that long. I really do to get the depression in there and all the other things he went through. You know, if you just show him fighting, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Just fighting, you don't see the background of it. You know.
Correct. Yeah. No. Like I said, it was definitely because what's the one we did last week was only the greatest game. That was what, 2 hours?
Game ever played. Yeah.
Yes. I mean that was a little.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in there you didn't need. I don't think.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, anyways. But
and that's good storytelling. Is it's 2.5 hours, but it keeps you interested.
Ron Howard usually does that. He does. His movies usually do that.
Yeah.
They keep you watching it for however long it is.
Mm-hmm. I made an interesting note about the guy who fights Corn Griffin.
Yes, Corn Griffin.
And he gets knocked out.
Yes.
So I actually looked him up. So after that, he fought 14 more fights after his loss.
Right.
And he lost 13 of them.
Yeah.
And he retired in 1936. So I thought that was it. After he lost to Jimmy, it was never the same.
Yeah, it never was. Never was. He wasn't expecting to lose to him. He wasn't expecting to lose.
No.
To him. That's the whole thing. I don't know if you realize the trainer that was also in the ring, the older guy, I'm sure you saw him, that's Angelo Dundee. I met him, actually. That was Muhammad Ali's trainer. I got to tell you that because you got to give a thing out. He's passed away now, but he was in that. I guess.
Yeah.
And I heard the story. Ron was looking for somebody, and I guess he picked up his name and he said, "You want to be?" He said, "Sure, I'd be more than happy to be in it." So. Yeah, he was famous. I met him in some a signing thing.
Really?
Yeah, I got a picture
I remember you used to do those every now and then. Yeah.
I met him. What a nice man. But he used to be in Ali's corner all those years, so that was pretty cool. I thought. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that I didn't even see that because there was a lot of.
I know. There's so much in it.
There's a lot of trivia on this, and they have to have. Yeah. They have to have some sort of technical advisor on to kind of
I only know that because I know who Angelo Dundee was. If that was anything else, I would have known who it was. And you realize Sarah Wilson was played by Rosemary DeWitt. Sarah Wilson, remember the guy that he was talking to in the place there, working with? Remember his wife?
Yeah.
Okay, that's James J. Braddock's granddaughter that plays the part.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Rosemary DeWitt. Yeah, she's alive today.
Granddaughter, huh?
That's his granddaughter. That was his kid. I think it's his daughter, Rose. That was her. That was her daughter. Yeah, I thought that was really cool to be in the movie. It's a long time.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did Google because it had me Google. It's got an estimate of 500 boxers that have died in the ring as a result of boxing.
Really?
Yeah.
500?
500. Yeah.
All different classes and stuff.
All different classes, different countries. Because you can literally, I just Googled it, and it gives you a whole, not necessarily exactly in the ring, but gone to the hospital.
On the hospital.
And have died of boxing injuries, which is.
Wow, I didn't know that. 500. That's a lot. I guess it's not for all the fights, probably, if you figure it all out. You realize he was a middleweight when he started. Then a light heavyweight and a heavyweight. You know how hard that is to do? Because you have to gain weight and build muscle to say that. And usually you're fighting bigger guys. Well, Max Beard, did you see the size of him? He's a monster.
He's tall. I know. I saw that. Yeah.
He was a monster. So that's hard to. That's hard to do.
People think it's easy to gain weight. Yeah, you're gaining. Not only you got to gain weight, you got to gain muscle.
Yep.
Sure, I can go on eating a binge and gain 50 pounds of fat, but
yeah, you're right. Definitely.
Pure size.
Yeah. And that's the way they fought that. I put this note in here because I didn't. Like I said, I looked into this so much. It's accurate how they fought in those days. That's the way they fought. It was it's a lot of these movies. You'll never see the guys fight like that today. Rocky and stuff. That's all made up stuff. But this is the way they used to fight. They used to beat the
hell out of each other.
Yeah, beat the hell out of each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it's a different time now. Yeah.
Different time. Yeah. Once in a while you'll see that in the fights, but I mean,
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's more up here now. It's more, outsmarting them and stuff.
Oh, I know. One of the other things I did know, as much as I could say, I didn't really like. I don't, like I said, I'm not a big Renee Zellweger fan.
Right.
It was cool to see it from her point of view, as
you're right.
the wife who's, he could ultimately die in the ring.
Yes, I agree totally on that. Yes, I agree.
And I thought it was funny how they go to like a church to pray for him, and they're all cuddled around the radio listening.
Well, that's all they had back then. Remember, there's no TV, so yeah. But you're right. That's a good perspective you don't think about when you're watching it.
Yeah.
Good perspective on the whole thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the breadwinner still. Let's face it.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
And she offers to go to work, and he's like, "No,
No.
you can't do that. You can't go to work.
No,
not you, Missy."
Women didn't work back then. They didn't.
I know.
I'm not. Now, I don't mean it that way. Any women listening, but no, back then They weren't. They just stayed home and took care of the kids. That's
You're right.
Different. It was a different era back then. Their rights. They didn't have rights to work. You didn't see any girls standing out there to get into the place.
No.
The rules back then were so different, So, but yeah, you're right. Zellweger's, from her point of view, or May, whatever you want to call her in the movie, I agree with you. Different point of view, definitely. So, but yeah, it's that was an excellent, very good movie, very well done.
Yep, very well done.
Let's see here. The choreography was good. You kind of like. Said that though, the way they did everything.
Yeah.
Action
was good.
I just put many different cultures fighting for a piece of the pie. That's the way it was. Here's a little thing of my own thing. Mm-hmm. I love watching boxing. I've hit the bag a few times. You know the bag that they hit?
Speed bag, yep.
We used to have one downstairs, and my stepfather used to show me how to do it.
Really?
He's pretty good at it. And I put on real boxing gloves and sparred a little bit with my nephew. Remember, my nephew was only 5 years younger than me. And we used to spar a little bit.
Oh, really?
He put the headgear on. I didn't have anything. But we used to have a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed boxing as a kid. Boxing was a big thing when I was a kid.
You know what? It's funny because my buddy had me, he did like jiu-jitsu, or I think he still does it.
Oh, really? Wow.
But, and we took one of the classes. We didn't really pay for it, but he got us in.
Yeah.
His other buddy, they did like, it's kind of like a boxing class. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You kind of like, not sparring, but you kind of, he shows you these movements. You hit the bag. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I actually thought about looking into like something like that, even like I wouldn't mind doing karate.
I agree totally with you. Yeah, definitely.
Just as a good way just to get out of the house, get a workout in, and
get you flexible and everything.
Yeah, just keep you limber.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I'm not doing that.
Well, right now you're a little busier with other stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about this. It says the seats were filled with 15,000 blow-up dummies and masks and hats in the final fight. You can't tell that watching it, though. You never see the people get up and
it's dark.
Oh, that's crazy, though, what they just did. And I guess the children of the Braddocks were very supportive in making the movie. They were
they blew the budget, so they couldn't afford extras. So
that's funny. That's funny, Ray. That's pretty good.
It was a great movie. I'm definitely as long as it was. If I see it on TV, I'll definitely watch it.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, it was. Let me see here. Pretty much, we did a lot of stuff.
We discussed a lot of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I can't believe I got this much stuff. But you mentioned a lot of stuff already, so I already had some stuff done. Yeah. There's not really much else in it. He was, I guess, in 1974 he passed away. He was 69 years old. I mean,
really?
I'll give you that much. Yeah. And he made his name, James J. Braddock. He took it from James J. Corbett, boxer. James J. Jeffries were both heavyweight champions. That's why he put the J in there. So
really,
it was kind of made up, but he put it in there. Hey, it worked out for him though. So
he's gonna be. I'm not a big horror fan.
Right.
But Russell Crowe's got this new horror movie coming out.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's called the Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, I've seen that. That looks good.
So I don't know if he plays the Pope, but it looks good actually. What's your favorite Paul Giamatti movie?
Well,
You know off the top of your head?
hang on. Oh, what's the name of it? My God, Sideways.
Okay. Yeah, Sideways. Yep.
Sideways. Fred Claus.
Oh,
He
yeah.
played
Oh,
Santa Claus in it.
Let me tell you something. I don't know. We might have mentioned this. The first time we saw that movie, at the
I
end,
love it.
At the end, me and Casey both cried our eyes out.
I know.
You know what scene I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
At the end, he's looking at they're looking at the snow globe with all the kids over it, and he says, he goes, you're the best big brother I can ever ask. I was like, me and her like both like looked at like kind of glanced over at each other, and like we just bawled our eyes out.
I cried too. That's an excellent. That's not to change something, but Vince Vaughn. I like him. He's a very good actor. He really is, and he plays a lot of good parts. Never gets no credit for him.
But absolutely not.
He plays a lot of good parts. I've seen him play serious parts and funny parts. He's just, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but that was another movie that I saw. PG. I'm sure there's a lot more. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
We actually, it's funny. We enjoy. He was in Lady in the Water.
Yes.
He was the main star. That's a weird M. Night Shyamalan, whatever how you say his name, but his movies are always hit or miss, depending on.
Yep.
But we enjoy him in that one.
It was like I said, it was very enjoyable to watch. It was a good, like, once again, second podcast we did in a row that's from that era.
I love I was making fun of the old timey talk, like the old timey talk. You know, like good like fisticuffs or like.
Yeah. And he was called what, the Bergen Bruiser or something.
Something like that.
He's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from New Jersey, so. He started when he started pro at 21. He had 88 fights, 62 wins, 26 losses, 7 draws, something like that.
Wow.
But it was just a nice Cinderella story. That's why it's called Cinderella Man. I mean,
Cinderella Man, yeah.
All kinds of stuff that went on there, but
All right. I mean, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I
pretty much talked to.
I don't think so. I thought we did really well. I think we covered a lot of stuff in it. But like I said about those fighters back then, that was there was all kinds. They were all fighting for
their lives, right?
My stepfather. It's funny because I got to go way back now. My stepfather, 1905, he was born. This is my stepfather, not my real father.
Yeah.
He lived to be 90. He's seen Joe Louis fight. He's seen Primo Carnera fight. Maxie Rosenblum. He was there in the ring.
Have you seen? Have you gone to? I don't know. We mentioned. Have you gone to boxing? Like I don't say professional boxing, but have you seen a match?
No. I've seen MMA. I've seen, what is it called?
MMA.
I've seen that, but I've never seen, and of course wrestling, of course, not real wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen wrestling too.
I've never seen a boxing match. I always wanted to go to one too. It'd be pretty enjoyable to go. Remember, when I was growing up, that was a big time. Frazier, Ali, those guys, Foreman. Mm-hmm. Boxing was a big thing.
Tyson.
Tyson came up. Yeah. But remember, back in those days, you listened to boxing, baseball, and horse racing on the radio. That's crazy. That's the way the era was back then. No, I'm talking about that era.
Yeah. That seems fun though. I don't know, for some reason, kind of go back.
In the radio? Definitely. Yeah. Every pitch. You can't see it, but
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, like I've seen. I went a few years. That was a while ago. I went to a UFC fight.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I saw it at Prudential Center in Jersey.
Oh wow!
And it's funny because we got there early, and we went and got a few autographs and a few signs. I got a picture with Chuck Liddell actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we waited in line and got his autograph, got his picture.
Nice.
Him, I don't know if you know any of these guys, but Brandon Vera, another fighter. I don't know, maybe people will know.
I know some of the guys.
Dominic Cruz was another guy who was pretty popular.
I think I heard of Dominic Cruz, yeah.
But Chuck Liddell, it's pretty cool.
Wow, that's cool.
It's pretty cool to see.
Was he nice? Pretty cool guy?
Oh, yeah. Nice,
he was
really nice, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
Yes. All right. Well, look, we'll get into ratings then.
Okay,
I saw IMDb gave it an 8.0, which I think is it's kind of low.
I agree. But you go ahead and do yours, and then we'll go from there.
But let me see here. Just down here. So thinking about it, the storyline, I got to give it a 9. I'm gonna go pretty high on this one. I think you
Yep,
probably yours
I agree
pretty
with
well. Storyline, I gave it a 9. Um, there wasn't much I didn't dislike about this, except for like and the cast. The cast, I gave it a 9. Like I said, I didn't really care for Renee Zellweger, but that's an afterthought. Whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone else was awesome in this. The action, reading all those, reading the fun fact and with the action, he really kind of took, a beating.
He
So
did.
I gave the action, I gave it a 10. So it averages out to like a 9.3. So
Wow, that's impressive. I like that. I like
yeah,
that. I'm going to just go real simple here, and I'm going to say the same as you, a 9.3, because that's about where I see it. I loved it. It was excellent. I loved the cast. I loved the time period. And Ron Howard does a really good job. Russell Crowe's an excellent actor. Paul Giamatti, I love him. And it was just it was nice for me to watch this because I read on all this stuff about this stuff, and I never really saw it. I just read it.
Well, and it seems like you're a big fan of boxing.
Yeah.
Or decent,
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm trying to think about I'm trying to think of like one bad thing to say about the movie. And I mean, the only really thing you could think of is that it was maybe a little too long. But even then, I still didn't care for it.
And just one little good.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you have these long movies. Like I was telling you, we watched the Ten Commandments a few weeks ago.
The Ten Commandments,
and that movie's 4 hours long, but it's really really long. However, it kept. I mean, Casey, you haven't seen in a while. It keeps you interested.
It does.
It's a long movie. I mean, The Irishman was 4 hours long. I really didn't care. I don't care to watch that again.
Oh, right. I understand. Right, yeah. Oh, and one little note, just the boxing note. I know we're getting into one other boxing note. You got to remember back then too, but not back then. Back in the 70s and 80s, not sticking up for the Russians by any means, but the Russians weren't allowed to fight here. That's the thing. If you look,
that makes sense.
You look at the heavyweight champs now. Guess who they are?
Oh yeah, a lot of Russians. Yeah.
Well, the Russians are here now, so that's how it's changed a lot. So the world's changed a lot and how things are. So, but that's it. That's what I think. Same as you, 9.3.
It's got to be pretty high. It's pretty high. I'm looking at all like my ratings. You know what my highest movie is?
What?
Remember the Titans.
Oh, I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
Crazy.
It's in the 9s. Sorry.
Yep. I gave it a 10.
Wow, that's awesome.
But
yeah. So
next movie.
Okay, next movie. What's coming up?
So I had like a good lineup, but then again sometimes you kind of run out of like I think we had like we have a soccer film coming up, but I think he had something else. So I kind of sneaking in these like football movies and baseball movies. So I put up the poll. We had The Blind Side versus Radio.
Right.
Which I thought were pretty on par, being close.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
We had, which I was kind of shocked at this. It was kind of one-sided here. The Blind Side won, 31 votes to 7.
Wow, I didn't think it'd be. Both movies were excellent.
Well, I thought they would be kind of closer.
Cuba Gooding
Jr., Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, definitely.
Blind Side. I thought it would be more a little even-sided, but it wasn't.
Right.
Maybe because The Blind Side came out a little sooner, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know when exactly.
You got 38 votes. That's excellent.
Yeah, no, it's not. We have that when a popular movie comes. Like I said, I think you get a lot of votes.
Oh, that's good.
So
it's The Blind Side.
So yeah, The Blind Side. The Blind Side will be the next movie that we watch.
I saw it, and I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah,
Linda likes that one, so
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about, discuss? I don't think we got any more ratings or or reviews
No,
that I know of. But
go
that's
from-
fine.
Yeah, it's going to come and go for different things. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we'll
so-
come back to that.
So so we do the what do you always say there, the Instagram thing and
Yeah,
Okay.
just everyone's got to follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
That's the way they vote.
right.
Facebook as well. We got to get more listeners.
Yeah, well, it'll happen. I got to put my thing on there for all the people I know. Just throw them on there. And...
You got to have your daughter there, Maria. We have this going tag where I would say, if Maria, if you're listening, and we know that you are, I put you down as a member of our Facebook group, so you can invite all 4,000 of your friends on Facebook.
I know.
So
even if you get 10
even if you
people
get a
to
quarter
listen
of
to
that, yeah.
Quarter of that, yes, you're right.
Because God knows I'm annoying, and I still keep inviting. You could do that. It's like I would invite.
I'm gonna start doing that. I don't care who I invite. I'll invite all the people I know on there.
Yeah.
If somebody listens to it, they listen. They don't. Yeah, I'm not putting a gun to their head. So.
Well, and you get it to the point where sometimes you get them to vote, and then they listen to that thing, that episode. I had a buddy of mine was doing this, he would watch the movie, and then he would listen to the podcast.
Right, yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, this is fun, man. Everyone, tune into the next episode. That's the ball game.